Good evening, everyone. This open meeting of the Town of Auburn Conservation Commission is being operated as a hybrid format under Chapter 22 of the Acts of 2022. The public can join the meeting remotely by telephone by dialing 408-650-3123 and then using access code 942-845-549, or you can join via computer at global.gotomeeting.com/join/942-845-549. So all supporting materials for tonight's meeting have been provided to the commissioners and they're available on the town's website. And the public is encouraged to follow along using our posted agenda. My name is Michael Garland. I'm chairman of the Conservation Commission. Permit me to confirm that members participating tonight are present and can hear me. So when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Tom Fallon.
Here.
Megan Langley.
Here.
Chris Carey.
Here.
Catherine Nordberg.
Here.
Okay, perfect. And Jesse Averka.
Here.
Outstanding. Also, please note that this meeting is being recorded by Auburn Cable Television. In case you're up one sleepless night and you need something to put you to sleep, I'm sure that our meeting might help. In any event, all joking aside, we have no public hearings tonight. We have some other business to attend to. The first item is a request for a certificate of compliance for 63 Chestnut Avenue. We received a cover letter and also a plan showing the condition of the project in its as-built form. My suggestion is that, as we normally do, that we take a visit, hopefully on Saturday, review the site to see that it complies with the plan, if that's agreeable to one or all of us. So, okay, good. The second item is we received a letter from Walsh Engineering Associates. This concerns the Auburn Transfer Station. One of the conditions under the order of conditions that we issued was that they perform semi-annual stormwater sample analysis. That has been provided to us, and I will leave it to the members to review it. I will say that it appears that the test results indicate they're well within established norms, and there's nothing that needs to be addressed by our board at this time. The next item is a cease and desist order that we issued for 16 George Street. I had received a message from Jesse. What was that? Thursday? Last Thursday?
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah.
And indicating that there was work being done in the presence of or the area of a wetland. It appeared there was actually some infiltration of material into the wetland. Jesse went out there, took pictures. Based on those pictures, I think I also looked at the property on Google Maps, and so based on that, I authorized Jesse to prepare and issue a cease and desist order. The request was that the owner of 16 George Street would, at a minimum, provide us with a request for determination of applicability. So since I issued that order on my own authority, I wonder if I can get a motion, please, to confirm that.
I'd like to make a motion that we confirm the cease and desist order for 16 George Street.
Is there a second?
A second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? It's a vote. Okay. For 25 Vinyl Street, Jesse, what can you tell us about Vinyl Street?
So I went out there probably 2 or 3 weeks ago at this point because I had received word from someone that lives nearby that there was a lot of clearing going on at the end of the road. It's a dead end. That's the last property on the street. And then I can actually show you guys the pictures if you'd like to see. But yeah, I went out there and saw that there was clearly, a massive area being cleared, a lot of trees taken down, basically just a full-on clear cut with an abandoned house. And they did not have any permits with us or DPW or anyone. And you can see that, they did put this silt fence in place, but it wasn't really installed correctly. It wasn't buried in all parts of it. There was no wattles or anything reinforcing it. So I put out that enforcement order, and I know that Gary from the building department, I think Joanna from DPW as well, I've also been in contact with them, and we're all kind of sorting it out and trying to, make them aware of the permits that they need to file.
Okay.
So they've stopped work. I've gone by a number of times since sending out that initial enforcement order, and nothing else has been done. There's been no equipment in there any of those times.
Now,
So I think they're just in the process of figuring out and filing everything.
now are there wetlands in that area?
Yes, yeah. So on the other side of this, in one of these pictures, I believe you can see, maybe not, but so it's really just along this. This is like when you come in on the left side of the property, and then all along this on this left side, it's wetlands over here.
Okay. Yeah, maybe on Saturday we can take a look.
Mhm.
So, all right, why don't we do that? We'll take a look and we'll continue. Well, if you would, just put Miles Street on for the our next hearing,
Yeah, sure.
along with 16 George Street. And then finally, 282 Southbridge Street. This is the property where it appears there might be an easement to a National Grid polar tower, and someone, a contractor, had laid a series of wooden boards, which you can see. I mean, it almost looks like the kind of boardwalk you'd see at a beach,
Yeah, you're right.
you know? But Joseph, why don't you tell us what you've been able to determine?
Yeah, sure. So I initially was contacted by the owner of the property, and he told me that this is basically an easement for Grid to get access to that tower. And he was not made aware of this, but what I was told was that Grid had subcontracted Michaels Corporation to, I guess, construct this road. I don't know if it's just for temporary access or what the end goal is. But that's what was reported by him, and as you can see, it's all wetlands over on the left side, just like the last one. And they didn't have any silt fence or anything in place. The work appears to be done for now. All of their equipment is out of the area, and no one's been there when I've gone by over the last couple of weeks.
Mhm.
So, I mean, basically, I'm still trying to track down someone at Grid who can tell me, who, authorized subcontracting this other company, and going from there. I prepared a draft with the property owner's name and Michael's Corporation for an enforcement order that we could send out, or we could wait and see if I can, try to nail down a little bit more what's going on here.
I mean, what I think is strange about this is that National Grid doesn't have to file with us normally, but they always have. But they give us notice, and they've always been good about giving us notice.
Yeah.
So I'm surprised that I don't know if this fell through the cracks or
Mm.
if they didn't realize there were wetlands there, but I think it's pretty clear they should have given us notice about this.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's kind of a kind of a sticky situation in that because, as I believe, the National Grid has an easement on his property, they have the right to go onto his property and do work to maintain the utilities in that area. But
Mm-hmm.
to the extent it puts the owner potential or exposure, to agency action, I think that's not fair. So why don't we do this? Why don't we continue that until our next meeting on September 13th and see if we can find out more information. If you can give me the name, I mean, it might even be a situation where we send it to their legal counsel.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm not mistaken, I think they have an office in West Park.
Yes, I believe you're right.
So maybe what we do is we send a letter and just advise them what the story is and just, let them know that we did not receive notice and that we should have received notice.
Mm-hmm.
But let's see if you can find out anything further
Yeah.
between now and then.
That sounds like a good course of action to me.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
And then
I'm sorry, I just have a question about that.
Sure.
So, Grid doesn't have to file with us for those easements, but do we still have the ability to set conditions for, how they do work on the site?
So, my memory on this is that they're actually specifically exempted from the act.
Okay.
I mean, I think if there was something egregious, like if, for example, this is just a hypothetical, where instead of putting in a wooden road, they poured asphalt and it got into the wetland, then obviously I think we could issue an action or have them go in there and clean it up. I mean, I can't tell from the pictures whether they're, aside from not notifying us, which they should have done and which they have typically done, I can't tell with the subcontractor if there's been any degradation of the wetland, if any material ended up in there, but they should have given us notice, and that's the surprising part about it. So That's why I think we should, do some follow-up on this, if that answers your question.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, sure. And then finally, we have meeting minutes from August 9th. I have no changes to the meeting minutes for August 9th.
It's good to me.
Okay. And because there were 4 of us who attended and there are 3 of us here, I think we can vote on it. So is there a motion to accept the meeting minutes for August 9th, 2023?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain?
Abstain.
I meant
Abstain.
Sorry. I meant to say aye in the beginning and I didn't. I
Okay.
approve.
Okay, thank you. All right, good. It's a vote. Is there any new business? If there is no new business, is there a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion, we adjourn.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? No one ever opposes these motions, It's a vote. All right, everyone. Thank you very much for attending, and we'll see you on the 13th, and hopefully I'll see some of you on Saturday at Chestnut Avenue.